Hi, I'm Heather Panick. I'm a senior ERISA consultant at the Retirement Learning Center. Welcome to our regular segment on Case of the Week. This week's case relates to a question regarding whether a 401k plan that requires spousal consent for distributions can be amended to adopt the new domestic abuse victims distribution option. As a reminder, these are real-life cases drawn from calls to our consultants on the resource desk from financial professionals all over the country. So the short answer to this question is maybe. Unless your client's plan is amended to fit within the spousal consent exemption, the 401k plan cannot be amended to adopt the new domestic abuse victim distribution option. Plans subject to Internal Revenue Code sections 401A11 and 417, such as defined benefit plans and certain defined contribution plans, require spousal consent for certain distributions and forms of benefit payments. In general, these plans require a married participant's spouse to consent to any change in the optional form of benefit payment offered under the plan, such as any in-service distributions, loans. In general, these plans require a married participant's spouse to consent to any change in the optional form of benefit payment under the plan, any in-service distributions, or loans from the participant's account. It is not common for 401k plans to require spousal consent for distributions, including changes to the form of distribution, in-service distributions, or loans. Typically, 401k plans are designed to be exempt from the spousal consent requirements because they require the spouse is the named beneficiary of the full benefit, absent the spouse consenting to an alternative beneficiary. They do not permit annuities as a distribution option. They do not include funds which were a direct transfer from a plan that was subject to the spousal consent rules, and the plan is not part of a floor offset arrangement with a defined benefit plan. Section 314 of Secure Act 2.0, which is the Domestic Abuse Victim Distribution section, went into effect January 1st, 2024, and is a discretionary feature, meaning sponsors do not have to amend their plans to provide for this option. Section 314 permits plans to allow a penalty-free emergency distribution up to the greater of $10,000 or 50% of the participant's account balance for participants who self-certify that they have experienced domestic violence and request the distribution within 1 year of the domestic violence incident. A participant is limited to one distribution per 12-month period. Under this section, domestic abuse is defined as physical, psychological, sexual, emotional, or economic abuse, including efforts to control, isolate, humiliate, or intimidate the victim, or to undermine the victim's ability to reason independently, including by means of abuse of the victim's child or another family member living in the household. Plan sponsors may rely on a participant's self-certification of the domestic abuse. On June 20, 2024, the IRS released Notice 2024-55, which provides guidance on the exceptions to the early distribution penalty for certain new distributions, including distributions for victims of domestic abuse. In this notice, the IRS states that a domestic abuse victim distribution may be taken from an applicable eligible retirement plan, which is defined as an eligible retirement plan other than a defined benefit plan or a plan to which Internal Revenue Code section 401A11 and 417 apply. Under this language, a 401k plan is only an applicable eligible retirement plan if it is exempt from the spousal consent requirements. So in answer to the question, while it is not common for 401k plans to require spousal consent for distributions, if a plan does have this requirement, it would either need to be amended to remove the spousal consent requirement before adopting the domestic abuse victim distribution option, or should not adopt this provision. As a financial advisor who works with plan sponsors and plans, you can play a pivotal role in helping them with cases such as this. If you are looking for a more in-depth written version of this case, you can find it on our website, retirementlc.com.